Yan yung Seventh-day Adventist.
Yes, the Adventist.
Anong kaibahan yun sa mga Methodist, Christian, born again? So here with us is a former pastor who now considers himself as a citizen of the world. We have with us a filmmaker and a photographer, Jasper Iturriaga.
Thank you. Oh, you pronounced my last name, right?
Tama ba?
Yeah.
Yung isip ko nga, tama. Kasi si Jasper ay talagang taga...
Negros.
Negros.
Yeah.
So, Ilonggo.
Yes.
When you say citizen of the world, ibig sabihin nun, for you?
That phrase is very close to my heart just because I've been living out of a suitcase. Sa bag lang ako nakatira for the past, 6 years in 50 countries. Just traveling, kahit saan ako natutulog, couch surfing, ganyan. So,
Ano yung couch surfing para malaman nila?
so basically, parang punta ka sa isang lugar and then you ask people if you could sleep there and on their couch.
Wala kang binabayaran?
No.
Paano yung pagkain mo?
I buy my own food. Tapos, if you're also a host, then you can do the same thing. You know, so if a visitor come, okay, stay in my house.
Diba?
Yeah. So I grew up in a Seventh-day Adventist. We're Christians, but we are emphasizing the Sabbath. That means we have a specific day where we rest, and we're not doing anything secular. We're just spending time with our family and God the whole day.
Yan yung Seventh-day Adventist.
Yes, Seventh-day Adventist.
Anong kaibahan yun sa mga Methodist, Christian, born again?
So it's the same, but we have a specific emphasis on Saturday as our rest day.
Kasi nagpastor si Jasper.
Yeah.
Paano ka nalinya sa pagpapastor?
So I was raised a Christian, but very nominal and cultural Christian. That means naging Kristiyano ako because the culture demands me to be part of it.
Parang born and raised.
Yes.
Doon ka pinanganak.
Yeah.
So akala mo yun lang yung religion, akala mo ito talaga yung
Yes.
mundo. Ito na yun.
So you don't drink that, you don't eat this, you don't do that, but you don't really understand why. There's no relationship. You're just doing it like a chore. And church became something like, I have to. Parang naguhugas ka ng pinggan, it's something that you have to do, but you don't want to do. And so, for
So
me,
may ganun ka? You don't want to do?
Yeah, I don't want to be part of a church or a system. I just don't like
Dahil,
it.
yung time na yun.
Emphasis siguro is, the law of God feels like prison. And if the law of God feels like prison, sometimes sin feels like freedom. So we know that when you're in prison, you're like, oh, I want to do something.
Daming
different.
bawal, parang ganun.
Yeah. But I've realized growing up that, when you love God, duty becomes a delight and sacrifice a pleasure. It's supposed to be easy. Not easy, easier.
Free will.
Yeah. I also was pushed by my father to be a pastor. I was sick when I was 17. Nagkasakit ako. I had a little, hindi ko siya matawag tumor something in my brain. Tapos that caused me to have severe seizures. I woke up in the hospital, tapos nagising ako, and the doctor came up and said, hey, well, let's do CT scan, MRI. Wait, bakit ka nag-seizure? Tapos funny pa kasi the first response of my parents was, nagda-drugs ka ba? Are you doing
17?
drugs? Yeah. I would have loved them to say, are you okay? Bakit yung response? It's funny, it's very Filipino. Tapos, he brought me to the hospital, woke up in the hospital, and sabi ng doctor, you have a something in the left side of your brain. Like,
Parang may bukol yung brain mo.
very small, but it caused you to have severe seizure.
So ano nangyari?
So 17 ako, very scared, di ba? One semester, nag-stop ako ng schooling. I was taking biology during that time. Then my father came up. He has an amazing idea. Sabi niya, Jasper, I think God is calling you to be a pastor. Pero for me, I don't want to be part of that.
17 ka na.
17, di ba? Alam mo, trying to be cool kids, di
Oo,
ba?
di ba? Cool age yun teenager.
Yeah. Tapos, my father doesn't want to be, he wants me to do that, or else hindi ako mag-school. So I said, okay, if you're Filipino, you understand this. You don't have a choice but to follow what your parents tell you.
Kasi, di ba? Obey your parents in the Lord.
Yes.
So everything may go well with
Yeah.
you.
But I think it was a good plan. When I took theology, studied for 4 years, and I found God. I found Jesus there. And I could really resonate. There's an author, one of my favorite authors said, grace is an attribute given to undeserving human beings. We do not seek for grace, but grace was sent in search for us. So parang hindi natin hihanap yung grace, but grace was given to us. And we're all undeserving. And so that was my story. I was not searching for God at all, but God found me in the school. And so I found my calling. I remember preaching in the girls' dorm, ganyan. So I was really excited, and I found my calling as a pastor.
So nagsimula ka magpastor at the age of?
I started doing, after graduate, mga 21 years old.
21, nagpapastor ka na.
Yes.
So
I was
how
sent to Indonesia.
Indonesia agad?
Yeah.
To be a pastor there?
Yeah, I worked in Indonesia for about 4 years.
Kamusta yung journey na yun as a pastor at 21 years old?
It's good. I think it's an amazing experience, and I love my church. But I know deep inside, this is not what I want to do.
Kailan pumasok yun?
When I first held my first camera, tapos someone handed me a camera. Kasi nung maliit pa ako, Tony, di ba may fiesta, ganyan, coronation night, di ba ganyan sa barangay?
Sony handicam?
Yeah, exactly, Sony. Tapos I remember my grandma would always tell me, ay, umiiyak si ano, bidyuhan mo. Ganyan. Bidyuhan mo yun. Ganyan. So, tape pa yun before.
Yes.
I really loved it, but I was addicted to video games, ganyan, and I lost that. And a friend of mine actually told me, the enemy of best is good. Sometimes, the devil gives you good things, so you avoid the best things in life.
As okay na ako dito, yung comfort zone.
Yeah, exactly. I was really comfortable being a pastor. But then, the first time I held the camera, I just, parang may electricity, I was like, wow, I felt like Thor with a hammer, oh, this is really nice. And I decided, this is not what I want to do. I couldn't sleep at night because even though comfortable siya, I realized peace is not a geographical location. Hindi siya lugar eh. It's not, because I grew up in a concept na if you have money, you have a bank account, may pera ka, healthy ka, then you have peace.
Secured ka na.
Secured, yeah.
Security.
But that's not what peace is. Peace is not a geographical location. Peace is doing what God wants you to do. That's what peace is.
Finding your calling.
Yes.
Doing what you love to do. That's from your heart.
Yeah.
It's not something that was imposed to you.
Yeah.
It's something that you want to do.
Tony's preaching.
So, nahawakan mo yung camera. Paano nag-shift lahat?
So, everything shifted because I went to El Nido. I was just trying to take pictures, videos. Di pa sikat yung El Nido doon. And then, I was filming. Tapos, it went viral. 1.4 million views in Facebook. And I was like, man, this is really good. I should do this thing, right? And so, nag-decide ako just to leave pastoral ministry. It was very difficult because I grew up in a culture na it tells you na being a pastor is the highest form of work. No, if you know
it's a noble job.
Yeah, that's the highest.
Because you're a servant of Christ.
Yes,
so,
ganon. Bakit mo iwan? Ganyan. And
ano sabi ng daddy mo?
No, my parents, they're kind of okay with it.
Okay.
Siguro, I grew up lang na pressured ako kasi I have colleagues, I have friends na pastor na sila, di ba? Ako, aalis ako. But I know I have peace. I have peace. I was willing to be broke doing what I love to do. I was willing to give up kung ano man yung nasa sa akin. Really nice life in Jakarta. But I really want to do it.
Alam mo, passion yan.
Yeah.
If you're willing to do something for free, that's what you're passionate about.
Yeah, exactly. And I think there's a lot of young people who are confused in what to do in life. And I think one of the questions we should ask is, what are you willing to do for free? Anong willing mo gusto for free?
Kasi yun ang passion.
Yes,
yun ang passion. So, nahanap mo yun.
Yeah.
Iniwan mo ang pagpapastor sa Jakarta.
Yeah.
Anong una mong ginawa?
The first thing I did was to go to Europe. We had a little YouTube channel called The Lineage Journey. Tapos wala lang about Reformation, about the Bible, ganyan. Traveling, filming. But I also realized there's a lot of communities around the world that their story need to be told. Tapos ang group namin nun it's called Tell Them. Maybe we can tell these people's stories. So we went to Wuhan, China. There was a leper colony there. Right before the pandemic, we were there. And so we were filming. I went to North Korea. I go to Ukraine, mga ganyan, during the war.
Alam mo, nagpunta siya ng Ukraine. Tumulong siya sa mga refugees. Nag-save sila ng mga tao from Ukraine.
Yeah.
Maganda yung experience na yun. Kwento mo yung sa
border. So in Ukraine, we have a concept called Operation Safe Passage. Technically, we have a group from Germany. We have a huge bus, laki. We fill it up with goods. We bring it to Ukraine, and we drop the goods. Then we bring people out of Ukraine. It's crazy. I have a Filipino passport. I imagine many times ako pumunta ng border, hindi ako papapasukin. Kasi every time I apply for a visa, sabi ng guard, ay no, you're Filipino. You need to apply visa. Sabi ko, how do I apply? You're being bombed. Like, no one's replying to me. In Kiev. Tapos puno ng foam yung bus eh. It was, people donated mattresses for kids sa Ukraine. Tapos sabi ng driver ko, I didn't understand him. Sabi niya sa guard, he owns this. He wants to help the Ukrainian people. Tapos tumawag sila sa equivalent to their White House. And then I got approved. And so I went to Ukraine in Kiev during war.
During war, at the height of war, nandun siya.
It was crazy. I got detained because I flew the drones. Lahat na lang. It was like a movie. Pero by God's grace, it was really fun. I survived.
Grabe yung mga humanitarian works niya. Napunta ka rin sa Africa.
Yeah. So we have in Africa we rescue girls that has gone through female genital mutilation, ganyan.
Ano ang dream mo ngayon?
My dream is to really build more schools. And just I think to inspire young people that ako, Toni, I grew up in a church, 'di ba, na culture that says social media is bad. 'Di ba? Huwag ka kayong TikTok diyan. 'Di ba? It's all like it's bad, it's this and that. But I realized that instead of cursing the darkness, we should light a candle. And I want to empower young people na your talent, you can use it to better the community around you.
Use it for good.
Oo. What am I doing na ma-better ang communities around me? I think that's the goal. You don't have to be this superman, ganyan. No. You just have to be someone who can affect and make some people's lives better. And to see them with the school and their dignity back, nagdo-drawing sila, ganyan. Man, if I am not paid in what I do, if that's the only payment I get to see kids thrive, like, I'll take it.